The question I like to answer is, how can you write and speak more professionally? Let me give you 3 tips on email, first of all. First, always write to one reader. Never write to groups. Groups don't read. It's never dear friends. It's dear friend, dear council member. People read as an individual, not as a group. I would never write hi all. All doesn't read. Just write hi or good morning. That's the first thing. Always write to one reader. Second, put the word you or your in the first sentence of everything you write, and you'll be a better writer. Examples: thank you for, I have a favor to ask you. Your comment in yesterday's meeting surprised me. For cover letters, I was excited to see your ad for long documents. In this report, you will find. So you've got one reader, connect with the word you in the first sentence, and try to get your third tip, try to get your message across within the first 3 sentences so that people get your idea right away. Use the rest of the email or an attachment to explain, to justify, to give other information. So to summarize, you've got one reader, connect with the word you in the first sentence, get your message across within the first 3 sentences. 1, you, 3. Now here's the speaking techniques I like to recommend. When you're giving a presentation, open always with 3 things: a greeting, a question, and a promise. You can greet an audience good morning. Add a line like, thank you so much for being here. Next, open with a question. Don't tell them your name yet. Ask a question. How many of you? Type question. Or the question before us today is, how can we? And then follow with a promise. A promise is a marketing device speakers can use to make people want to listen. For example, the question, today I will present such and such, so that you will. You preview what you're going to present and you promise what they're going to gain by listening. So you've got a greeting, a question, and a promise line, and then tell them your name. And to say your name, here's the only technique you need to know. When you say your name, the last syllable of your last name should always go down in pitch. The only technique everybody who speaks English needs to use to sound decisive, authoritative, and confident is to drop your pitch firmly on endings. Never end going up. So when you greet people like in a meeting or something, it's good morning. Thank you for being here. Actually, if you can speak in arcs, you're better off. I've studied radio and television broadcasting, and that's the technique that's used there. You round words, round phrases. You never want to say, good morning, thank you for being here. If you go up on endings, you sound wishy-washy, indecisive, like you're begging for approval or permission. Of all the techniques I teach around the world, that's the single most important for sounding confident. And when you say your name, you drop your pitch at the end of it. I'm Michael Buschmohle. If you watch 60 Minutes, the beginning of the program on Sunday nights, you hear each broadcaster say their name and they drop their pitch at the end. Those are the techniques that make people really powerful.